Alright, so quick recap for YouTube, I guess, as to how this is gonna work in case you saw the title. Yes, this is a command code tier list. Although, yeah, it is a tier list, but it's mostly for the sake of me just talking about the CCs themselves. The ranking is kind of silly maybe for something like this, but I thought it's always fun to rank them anyway. And will list my criteria in a second, but keep in mind, this is just, like, this is basically guidelines. They don't ever take any of this too seriously, as is with all tier lists and whatnot. Shout out to clicking on this video, though. Like, shout out to everyone watching. Shout out to everyone live on the stream as well, of course. And as per usual feedback, my alerts for the stream have been disabled for the duration of this, so maybe that's gonna make the video experience a bit better as well. I might thank some subs here and there if I see them in chat, but besides that, you won't be hearing alerts on this screen or whatever. So yeah, this is the CC tier list. It has every CC command or AK command code to this day, and today is, for reference, today is November 25, 2021. So yeah, it includes everything up to GudaGuda 6. So I will be covering JP ones as well. Mostly because I don't expect this to be like a 6-hour video like servant rankings tend to be. So if anything, I'm guessing less than 2 hours. Still gonna be pretty hefty. I'm not gonna edit this in any way, so what you see is what you get. There might be some slight mishaps here and there. Again, you just gotta get this raw. Don't take that the wrong way, but yeah. Yeah, so right now I'm gonna briefly list my criteria. So for the ranking, I'm gonna rate them or rank them based on 1, how useful they are, 2, how often they have uses, 3, how strong the actual effects of the command code are, and 4, how good they are compared to other command codes of similar effects, because there will be many repeat effects, and even the numbers will be varying quite a bit based on their rarity as well. So all of that said, that's basically the criteria in a nutshell. There may be some exceptions here and there, but yeah. And also the in case you're wondering what the order is, because it looks to be kind of all over the place, which it kind of is, the order will be based on the ID, aka when the stuff was added into the game. So it will not be like 1 stars first, 2 stars, then 3 stars. No. Although I guess 1 and 2 stars will be completed at the start, because there hasn't been any more after these. But yeah, the rarities will be jumping all over the place from 3 to 5 stars afterwards. So that's the order for the command codes. Hey Nolly, thanks for the 7 months, man. Welcome back to the Go Gang. So yeah, I think we're good to go then. Again, I have some notes written down, but I'm mostly just gonna wing it, so don't expect this to be like super professional or anything. Also, I will take chat's inputs here and there as well if needed, and if they have some more insight, I'm, you know, might as well add some like servants that could use a code or whatever. So it's always good to hear more opinions as well. So we're gonna start. Most of these I won't be talking too much about them. So we're gonna start with the 1 stars, obviously, because they're the first IDs. The first one being the mortal one that increases damage against humans. Now, a common misconception in the community is that people think the human trait is the same as humanoid, which is not the case. Humanoid trait is very common. Basically, every servant -2, as far as I know, are considered humanoids, for instance, along with many enemies. And yes, this sucks for Sandston as well. I really wish they changed it. Humans are very different. Most servants, like 99% of servants, are not considered humans. So even that already diminishes the value a lot. So I also have a trait list here. So if we take a look at this, if I can find it here. These are mostly what you're going to be fighting. So like the only exceptions for servants we have are these 3 as far as I know. And even then it's only for story battles, not when they're like, you know, you're fighting them in events or anything. So a very limited pool. So yeah, some of these effects will be more useful than others. And I think human is just going to be... It's not going to really... Like, it's a 1-star effect. The number is very weak to begin with. And it's a really not a great... anti-trait, so it's just gonna be an easy E tier. A lot of these are gonna be like very low rated, so yeah. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention, I don't have plus tiers right now between stuff, but if needed, I might add some, but right now we just have the basic from E to EX, so we'll go with that for now. Alright, next command code is the Brute one. Increases damage against beast enemies. Now again, maybe a misconception here. This does not mean the beast class, the threat to humanity stuff, basically. This means like wild animals. Let's see, again, I believe they are here. I believe it's the same thing as this, but this is what it refers to, even though it's written as wild beast here. So yes, this does not mean the beast class, which would actually give it some kind of a use. But as is, I think it's the same case, because, you know, it's mostly just going to be fodder, damage against fodder. There have been some challenge quests, like one of the summer one that had only the big giant boars, and maybe there you could have used this. Although, to be honest, this command code didn't even exist at the time. So, yeah, because I don't really remember a lot of examples where you would ever want to use this, to be honest. Thanks for the 19 months, Rose, as well. So, I mean, sure, you can still attach it to servants that have beast damage, like Super Orion or Ku Proto, if you want to, but I would still say both of those servants have way better options, and you can just ignore this one as well. Luckily, you won't hear what I'm listening to on YouTube right now, because some of these song requests are pretty wacky. There's going to be some chill music on the background instead when this is a video. So next one is gonna be Corpse. Damage against Undead. Again, I don't think Undead is also a great trait to have a bonus damage against, because again, most servants, if not just every servant in the game, they're not considered undead. It's only like fodder enemies again. So I already made my point pretty much clear here. Yeah, some servants have undead damage bonus like Grey and whatnot. You could give it to them if you wanted to, but again, they just have way better options. Just Undead, not great. Not great. Now we got actually something that is useful. Demonic. Now many servants actually have the demonic trait, in addition to lots of the fodder enemies as well. So this is the full list of demonic servants. You can see it's not a small number, right? So that's already something. This is already better. But even then, like, even though it's more useful, I still feel like on a 5% modifiers for the 1 stars, I still feel like you just probably wouldn't use these at all. And some of these will have higher variants as well, with some other effects on too. So even as like placeholders, I really feel like these don't really do much. It could be like an E+ tier. I'm just gonna add one just because I feel like they have more use than those two, but still, like, I just feel like they're not going to be a whole lot useful anyway. So I'm going to place this in E+. Basically the same as the Anti-Divine one. Both of them useful anti-traits, definitely. Some of the more common traits in the game to fight against, especially Divine. But with those numbers, they're just not going to be like... just maybe acceptable as a placeholder. Besides that, I really don't see myself ever using any of the 1-star command codes. So that's it for them. Now we get 2 stars. Again, it's based on ID, so we're gonna go through 1 and 2 star, then a mix of like all the rarities. So the first one is this one, the Bless one, that heals for 100 HP when you attack, right? There's a lot of CCs that give you healing when you use them. So, and this is the weakest one, obviously. Healing is also not one of the strongest mechanics, defensive mechanics out there. It's one of the weakest, in fact, in my opinion. It's not the most reliable thing out there. In a lot of comps, you do want some healing, but usually the servants alone can kind of cover you. So I feel like this is just way too weak to be considered really using. Again, because there's so many other healing CCs as well. And even then, I don't think there really is a scenario where you would want, like, let's say, 5 healing CCs on your entire deck. Because even for solos, there's way better options out there. Especially even on NA, once we get the update, where you can kind of move around stuff freely. So yeah, I'm gonna place this on E+, I think. Because it's a placeholder, if anything. It's not garbage. But, yeah. It's not a whole lot better than like these that are kind of unusable. Glitter. Now this is an interesting one. This in particular, most of these low star ones are pretty bad. This is not terrible. Biggest reason is because remember when I said a lot of effects will be repeat on every single rarity, right? Not the case with star generation, actually, for some reason. I checked all of these, and unless I missed something, the highest star generation you can have on a command code is the 3-star one that we'll cover soon, that gives you 30%. So this is not that bad in comparison to the highest one. I'm still not sure why there's not a single 4 or 5-star CC that increases generation. Like, I'm pretty sure I checked it. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Like, that alone makes this better because the competition is not massive. So this is not a terrible CC at all, even as a 2-star. So based on that, I would probably place this on like D. C might be a bit too high. Maybe it's like a D+. For now, I think I'll place it on D. I think this is a usable one, definitely. Maybe a C, honestly. It's really hard because, again, I might shift these around at the end again, you know. It's always, if you want to see the full picture, check the end. Because, you know, stuff might get moved around at the end. But maybe I'll actually place it on C. Because, again, because of this one mostly gains points because the competition is barely existing. So, there you go. Very usable CC. For a lot of, mostly you're gonna use star generation CCs on the quick cards of assassins. That's mostly the use. I really wouldn't recommend putting star generation on anyone else besides like quick cards of assassins. I'll keep it in C for now. We might bump it down depending on what else we feel on C later. And then we got this one, Burst. So crit damage 3%. Now, unlike this one sucks. Because there's like 3, 4, 5 stars. There's so many crit damage ones. And this is such a small number in comparison. This is just very bad. God damn it. I totally should have disabled that as well. Well, brief intermission. I'm gonna disable that one as well. Thank you, Winter, for reminding me to disable that one as well. God damn it. Okay. Again, none of this will be cut, so god damn it. There's so much stuff I need to prep for stuff like this. Alright, moving on. Cool. So yeah, this one sucks in comparison. This one has a lot of competition, and this is the worst of the bunch. I want to place it in E, because there's so many crit damage ones. I really like, even if you want 5 crit damage CCs on a Servant, unless you want those on multiple Servants, you don't even have to use this one to fill the entire deck. It's just... I'm just gonna, because I don't think it's even a good placeholder. It's so insignificant. So I'm just gonna place it here. Don't use the CC. Use the other crit ones. There's so many. And then Star Absorb. While Star Absorb also has a lot of competition, is not as atrocious as this one is in comparison. But even then, I'm gonna place this in E+. It's a placeholder. It's not garbage. It's a placeholder. You can use it, but it's not going to be that good because there's still a good amount of other Star Absorb CEs, or CCs rather. Maybe a D, arguably. But even the difference to a 3-star one was pretty big from what I remember. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to place it on E+ for now. Right, and then the final one of the 2 stars, which is not bad at all. This one, it doesn't remove any debuff, any one debuff. It removes only a dot, but it's not useless. It has some uses. For instance, I think a lot of people know about this. For instance, you know the famous Herc solo, right, with the Bond C. One thing that can really mess you over is if you get a dot that's like 500 damage or more, because that's just gonna keep taking away your guts when you don't want them to. So that's a very useful use for this C, for instance. Now, you could use a different CC as well that, like, removes any debuff. But this one already does the job as well. And even outside that, it's not terrible. You're probably not going to put this on a DPS if I had to guess. Like, I probably wouldn't. You could maybe put it on a support, especially if a challenge quest has, like, a lot of dots in it. There's certainly been a lot of those. So, because again, once we can move them around more freely... Stuff like this becomes more flexible, basically. I think it's at least a C. I could maybe see it being a B, or maybe like a C+. Oh yeah, very, that's good to mention, y'all. Yeah, another good use for it is many servants, well, not many, but some servants have demerits where they put dots on them, like y'all mentioned Fran, right? She puts a burn on herself. Babbage does the same thing. So, Maonobu, for instance, and her burn happens to be pretty significant as well. Definitely many like that, so that's another use for it. Man. Again, I should have mentioned this at the start, but I'm not gonna only consider the best case scenario for C. Like, let's say you have an anti-divine CC, that's the highest number. I'm not gonna place it on EX, like, based on you're only gonna use it versus divine. Like, I still want the niches to be somewhat, you know, common. Like, that's the reason why I don't place, let's say, Welfare BB on EX tier on my 4-star lists. Because obviously she's amazing against Avengers, right? Really, really good. But how often do you really fight Avengers, right? So that's the reason I can't really only consider the best case scenario for these. It has to still be somewhat of a common use still for me to consider them to be very good. Yeah, the concert U fight is this is very useful there as well. I'm gonna leave it at C for now because there are other buff removal or debuff removal stuff as well. But for now, I'll leave it at C. Not a bad CC at all. All right, Lucky Beast, the first of the 3 stars. It's already twice as better as this one. Heals 200 when attacking. Now I forgot what I think it's definitely not the highest healing, and it's only healing. I forgot how the healing scales on the entire thing, but yeah, I would say in the grand scheme of things, it's only a heal, and even then 200, it's like, is it really ever gonna make a major difference? Probably not. It's definitely usable. Good fodder, I would say, absolutely good fodder. But yeah, I agree with D. It's an okay command code, good fodder. Basically anyone can use it, but the effect is so minimal. It's not gonna have a major difference just because of how versatile it is. I'll leave it in D, and it's a 3-star effect, so the number isn't garbage. So I think that's fair. Now, remember when I was talking about the Star Generation one? What you see right now is actually still to this day the best Star Generation CC in the game. I'm not shitting you. This was the day 1 release, as far as I remember, with the command codes. It's still the best one. It's a 3. There's no 4-star one. There is no 5-star one with Star Generation. This is the best one at 30%. And this one is not bad. I actually, for instance, I used this on my Gramps Lee, who only, even though he's an assassin, he only has 1 quick card. But because he's an assassin, his Star Generation number is very nice, and his 1 quick card has a very good amount of hits as well. So this is another very solid use for something like that. Again, mostly for assassins quick cards, I feel like. Not a whole lot of use for other stuff, but this one is basically the best of the bunch. But even then, I'm not gonna place it super high. It's like a B or a C, I feel like. Maybe B, just because it's the best of the Star Generation ones. I can't really put it higher than B, though. But for now, unless... I'm still confused why they haven't added more. Maybe they realize they can't make anything higher, or make a Star Absorb one, or a generation higher than 30%. But yeah, it's the best at its job, and it's not a terrible effect, so I feel like B is pretty fair. Oh yeah, it's obviously not only usable for Assassin's Speed, but I feel like the best use you'll find on an Assassin's Quick card. Maybe even on a Buster, like Kiritsugu's Buster. You could put that on Kiritsugu's Buster as well, for instance. Alright, first 4-star is the Armament of Triumph. It's 100% Star Absorb. It's not the highest number there is. As far as I remember, I think 150 is the highest. But what's good about this CC is that, like, unlike the many of the other ones that have Absorb, this one is not limited to a card. Although, when you think about it, it's attached to a card of your choice anyway. So even if some of them are niche, it really doesn't matter. So the flexibility really doesn't have that much bonus here when you think about it. But, having said that, this is still a great CC. Very great. Very, very great. Obviously, mostly going to be used in arts cards. Especially, like, I think a very great example is, well, there's a better CC for that as well. That's an arts and even higher, but just the effect-wise, like, you have, like, someone like a Reshkigel, right? Who has one arts card, but man, that arts card is busted. If it crits, you're going to generate so much gauge. So for cases like that, you want the absorb on the cards. You try to use it on Zergs. This is terrible for Zergs, man. I hate to say it. As far as I know, every star absorb in the game effect in the game, be it skill, MP, CC, or CE, they all scale off of your natural absorb. So it's gonna be terrible for Zergs. It's not gonna help you at all. But having said that, thanks for reminding me. I should mention that absorb ones are still good for any servant that's an archer, a foreigner, or best yet, a rider. Those are the 3 classes that have the highest natural absorb in the game. So even though they might not have the best synergy with crits or even the highest gains, just because of their natural absorb, it's already going to be a very good effect to have, because they're going to be having a much higher scaling of their absorption. So this one is at least a B, I think. Maybe an A. There's many absorb ones though. But this one is just a... I might put it on A just because how versatile it is. Like, you can kind of slap this on anyone. Best case used on those 3 classes I mentioned. Or someone who has a really nutty arts card. Or hell, you can even put this on, like, someone you just wanna, you know, loop better. If you need face cards. It's probably because of the versatility, I feel like it's a fair on A. Just a very great CC. Not bad at all. Use this on Hokusai. Yeah, for Hokusai instance, this is very great. So, very good. Now, this one, I feel like there's going to be a lot of different opinions about this. The first 5-star one, titled First Servant. It's a one-time damage cut for 1 turn for 300. I feel like this is a very niche one. I think the most use you're going to have this is for some solos. It would be a lot better if it was like, let's say, 5 or 10% defense up. Because you know how damage cut works, right? This is not gonna... You get MP'd, you still die. This is not gonna do anything against that MP, for instance. It's only gonna mitigate some damage you get from enemy face cards. 300 as well on a damage cut is not a whole lot. The best damage cuts go from, like, skills, for instance, go from, like, 1,000 to 2,000, which will actually have an effect. Those will really mitigate damage you get from face cards. But this... You can consider it as an effect on top, yes. And it's not bad at all. But it's very niche. I feel like outside of solos, it just doesn't really have a good spot compared to other options you would have for CCs. For a normal team, basically. So I think this is mainly for solos. And even then, it's not... I wouldn't say it's an EX tier for solo, maybe. Could be. But I'm gonna place this on maybe B or C. Like, it's still a nice defensive effect, but... mostly only for solos. Well, maybe I might agree with chat here for C, because again, it's not that useful for... Oh yeah, one thing I should mention, not just for solo actually, it's also very decent for taunters. Taunters can make use of this, although of course you still have card RNG, because, you know, when you taunt you might not necessarily have this command card on that particular turn. That's why, you know, it's better on solo. But I should mention that it is still good value for your taunters. Helps mitigate that damage. But even then, maybe we'll just keep it at C. This might be one of the weakest of the 5-star command codes in terms of usability. Still not terrible though. Not at all. Yeah, you can absolutely put it for Mashu. I mean, it's very good for her. Usually they tend to be good for the characters that appear on the CCs. I wonder why. Alright, next one. Keep it going here. Already, like, you can see how bad the 2-star crit damage one was, because even the base 3-star one that goes on any card, works against anything, is already 10%. So again, super versatile. Not the highest number out there, but it has no, like, card restriction, no, like, only against dragons restriction, which will be actually happening soon. So it's super versatile. But because there's so many crit damage ones, I feel like I'm still not going to place it that high, obviously. And most notably, much like with absorb effects, best case uses are servants that already have good crit synergy with their kits, or even better, crit synergy and they're of the class archer, foreigner, rider. Those are the best case uses, I feel like, for crit damage stuff. So yeah, I feel like this is just a good one. It's a C. It's a good one. It's not amazing. It's good. It's not... Yeah, it's just a good CC, you know? Nothing world-breaking, but it's a good CC. Now, another 4-star. We get the God-Binding Chains. Damage bonus against Divine. Again, you can see, like, I believe these were 5%, so it's already triple. I mean, it's a 4-star compared to a 1-star. But yeah, it's not bad at all. Again, Divine happens to be one of those traits that is one of the more common ones on enemies. Maybe top 3 most common, like, niche traits, I would say. I wouldn't count really, like, Gender's niche, which will appear here as well. But yeah, it's still pretty common, I would say. A lot of bosses tend to be Divine, and this is obviously against bosses. I mean, none of this, like, most of these command codes won't be relevant for farming anyway. So yeah, it should be pretty obvious here. It's not the highest of the Divine ones at 4-star, but it's super versatile. Not a terribly niche effect. I agree with Chad. It's a B one. It's definitely a B one, even at these numbers. Just a very solid CC. Oh yeah, another good use for these is if you have a servant that already has anti-divine niche, like Enkidu, Karna, Napoleon, many others that I'm forgetting. But anyway, yeah, there's many anti-divine gimmicks, so... Certainly, probably the best case scenario for those. But you can still use it on anyone, basically, if you're fighting Divine. Especially once we get the freedom to just move around stuff easier. Very good one to have. Now, this one, the 5-star Gilgamesh one, increases damage against all servants that don't have the EA weakness. Which, in case you were wondering, is like less than 10% of servants have that. So... against like 90% servants, this is just a flat out 20% damage increase. Is big. Especially if you land like a fat buster crit with this. Again, I have this on my Gramps Lee again as an example on one of his 2 busters. The buster with this one on hits considerably harder against servants just because of this CC. It's not niche at all, even though it is niche. It's very common to have this work, so... I don't think it's even an argument to place this on EX. It's just, still to this day, for damage, one of the best, if not the best, damaging CC out there. It's just very, very strong. Cool. And again, even if you don't crit, you still get the damage bonus, which is something to know. Because, like, for the crit ones, you still need to crit for it to do anything, right? For the crit damage side. This one increases your damage just flat out. Obviously, you still prefer to crit with this, but... yeah, it's just very good. Now, White Vessel. Now, this one is just a better version of the Cure one, right? Yeah, Cure. This one removes any 1 debuff, not just dots. So, this is great. I don't remember how many of these there are. If they're not... I don't think there's that many at all. Was there any other one that removes any debuff from you? There was many that remove a specific type of debuff later. Was there other ones? It's the only one. Okay, so it is the only one that removes any debuff. Any 1 debuff. That's kind of crazy. Again, some of these 3 stars are kind of nuts when you think about it. Thanks for the 27 months, Sonic. I feel like this could be EX, honestly. Just because it's insanely versatile. And again, these are mostly going to be against... This is not farm stuff. And there's going to be a lot of debuffs in like every challenge quests. It's so versatile. Supports, DPS, solo. You can use it on anything. And some debuffs are really nasty. Like, you get a skill sealed, MP sealed, a massive dot. It works on everything. That's not unremovable, so... yeah. You can... I mean, you will know which one it removes, Bukino, though. You can't choose the debuff, but the way... if you have an effect that says remove 1 debuff, the way it works is that it removes the latest one, always. So you can kind of at least know what it's going to remove. It always goes in the order of that. In case people didn't know, by the way. Maybe some people learned something new as well here. So yeah, if you have remove 1... it's the same for buffs as well. If you have buff removal, it always removes the latest one. So there you go. I would say borderline A maybe, but just because it's the only one that removes any debuff that's unremovable in the game. If there was another one, it would probably be here. But right now, this day, November 2021, I'll leave it at EX, I think. It's just so good. Nice, not very nice to have. Now, critical damage against dragon enemies on this one, this 4-star one, 25%. Number is very nice, I'm not gonna lie. And dragon isn't the most niche thing out there. Many servants, let's see, I still have this open. Many servants also do have the dragon traits. Yeah, I mean, most notably, yeah, if you really hate Arturia, you're gonna love this. But yeah, some others too. So it's not very super niche at all. Lots of dragon enemies as well. And it's not limited to a card type either. So it's not, I think it's better than what people might think it is actually. And obviously the best case scenario, again, servants that have high natural absorb, have crit synergy, or better yet, all of those, and also anti-dragon damage. For instance, Sigurd, this would be great on him. You know, Sumanai. Sitonai doesn't have bonus damage, but she does have dragon synergy elsewhere. And, you know, probably some others too, so... And also anti-Arturia servants, because again, every Arturia, minus Castoria, right? If I remember correctly, has the dragon trait, so... I feel like it's not that bad at all of a niche. It's pretty good, I would say. Pretty good. It's better than what it seems, I'll tell you that much. This one is at least a B. Maybe a B, though. The number is good, though, because it's niche. It could be an A, maybe. But I might leave it at B for now. It's not bad at all, though. Pretty versatile, I would say. Remember George? Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I guess, I mean, sure, it works really well with George as well when you turn your enemies into dragons, so there you go. Right, so this is very similar. It's a 5-star one, but instead of crit damage, it is all damage against dragons by 20%. Which honestly, you would prefer all damage versus just crits. But yeah, again, same scenario, not bad at all. I feel like this is just a very easy A rank CC. Not EX because I still feel like the niche is not common enough for me to consider it an EX tier. But for its niche, it's really, like, it's top tier. It's like a top tier. It's like the toppest of the dragon tiers, right? So I think this is a very fair ranking. It's a great CC. Right, and now we have a very specific one. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the only one that ignores evasion. And then there's also one that ignores invul pierce, or invulnerability that acts as invul pierce. I think there's only one of each, right? So that's something to consider. But even then, like let's be real. If there's a fight that like has like a lots of evasion, so you might need to bring it. Here's what you're gonna do. You're either gonna bring a CE with like invul pierce or sure hits, or you're gonna bring a servant that has that, or both. Like, I feel like it's not gonna be that useful. There is one case where I saw a really cool use for this though. It was the case files challenge quest, and someone did like a TA, aka like time attack on it, minimum turns on Rhinus, and because she doesn't have invul pierce, she needed to land one massive crit with her buster to finish the guy, and this command code was used. But again, it was just funny, if anything. So yeah, it's not that good as it seems, maybe, because there's so many ways to get in. Like, again, even for evasion is even worse than, like, ignore evasion is even worse than invul pierce, because invul pierce works for both. Evasion only works for, or sure hit only works for evasion. It's not bad, but I feel like it's like here. Maybe even E+. Maybe barely a D, but not that good. Way less useful than it seems. Alright, then we get some of the... Now these ones start happening as well. So, remove 1 defense up buff from an enemy when you attack. So it's just that. No other effect. Remove 1 defense up. Now, as far as I know, this only matters for, like, defense up percentage. This does not remove damage cut. This does not remove special, like, resistance. You never can remove those anyway, but... Yeah, this is only for the percent defense ups. It's definitely not the only one. There's many of these, I feel like, and some of them also offer bonus effects. But mostly you're going to be using this on your supports, I feel like. A lot of these will be, like, best on supports. I'm not sure if I would ever use this on a DPS. Maybe if you're doing, like, a cool solo and you need to deal with some defense ups. Mostly just going to be for supports. But it's not a terrible one. It's more of a like, if you... There's many options here. You're going to have more defensive ones and more offensive ones for supports. And this is definitely more on the offensive side, obviously. Because it's a buff removal one. It's not bad, though. I think it's at least a C. I forgot how many other ones there were that remove a defense up. That do other stuff as well. So I'm not sure if I can place it on B. So maybe I'll start with a C. Because I think there's at least a few others that do the same, but do more as well. Still very usable, though. Right, now this one I feel like a lot of people think this is really good, but I'm pretty sure this is pretty bad. So what this is basically bonus, like, big divinity for one card. It's bonus damage. It's not that good. It's not really gonna, like, you would, like, instead, even, like, 5% crit damage is gonna be way, like, a 2-star command code for a crit damage, it's gonna be better than this, I feel like. This one looks good, but it's not that good. It's the same with every, like, bonus damage effect in the game, basically. This one might be one of the worst 4-star CCs in the game, actually. There's, like, some niche, super niche cases where you could use this, like... You know, remember that crab CQ from Summer 2 rerun or something? Where they had, like, massive defense, where you either had to use bonus damage like this or dots to kill them mostly. But those are very, very, very rare, so... Yeah. Obviously, it's going to be better for low stars, I feel like, because their cards are not going to be hitting that hard anyway. But for, like, an SSR, this doesn't really do much at all. It just doesn't do a whole lot. It's, like, a very small addition to one card. I'm gonna place this in D, just because it's, you know, it's still decent fodder, but fodder is all it is, basically. It's just, I think it's like a, I don't want to use the word trap, because I find it cringy on stuff like this, but it's definitely worse than what it seems, for sure. Now, oh my god, I think this is still one of the best command codes in the entire game. Aurora Knights, or Holy Knights Aurora Borealis, amazing. It's the best star gain CC in the game. It's a 5-star one. It's the only effect. It's amazing. This one you can basically use on anyone you want. I mean, mostly probably going to be used on supports. But it's just that amazing. Like, honestly, this could be maybe even like an EX+. Unless, this could even be the best CC in the game, for all I remember. I guess we'll see at the end. Like, this is an amazing CC. 4 stars is insane. It's just insane on, like, just to get from a card use. It's really good. Really, really good. And it's super flexible. It has to be like top 3 CC in the entire game, even after all these years. There's not much else for me to say about it. Just god tier. Alright, this one. Okay, here we got the first of the dots. So, Curse, 500 damage 3 turns, and that's it. Now... I will be ranking burns a bit higher. I'm sure you'll know why. I'll even show it when I get to that point. But Curse and Poison ones will not be as good. As Curse is actually the worst of the bunch. Because at least Poison has some synergy. You might know who I'm talking about. But Curse doesn't really have synergy. Every dot still works for someone like Arjuna Alter, though. Because he just needs a debuff, right? Whatever it is. It could be a dot as well. But outside of that, Curse, like, the only other thing you could do maybe is, like, Mochizuki memes. Stack up curses on. I made a video about that as well. It was a funny meme, but again, it's not really realistic, I would say. It could have some use for Van Gogh, and also to enable Jacques to get damage on her MP. But I think outside of that, that's, like, all the use you're gonna have for this, because... The damage is basically irrelevant. The turns is the only thing that matters, and what the dot is. The damage is always going to be irrelevant. Is never going to really be a thing. Unless they change the way dots work someday. But because it has at least a couple of good uses, I'm going to place it in... It could be D, but I'm going to place it in E+. Maybe D. Because again, you want to enable Jacques' MP to have bonus damage, really increases the damage, and Van Gogh, you know, you want those curses absorb and shit, so... It's like a D-, if it's like a low D, but that's like all the use you're gonna get for it, so very, very specific on this one. I can't place it higher than this. Not at all. Now, this one is a really cool one. As far as I know, this is the only CC with this effect. So, it calls it immobilized, but it's basically it's stun in a different word. So, it's a one-time stun immune for 2 turns. Not even 1 turn, it's 2 turns, which makes it even more flexible. Now, best case uses for this CC is servants that have self-stun demerits. Most notably, stuff like Fran with that really, really brutal 2-turn stun. Other notable cases include Okita Summer. What else do we got? It's always hard to remember all these from the top of my head. Tammy Cat, yes, but less so nowadays because she has kind of a way to combat that in her own kit. But yeah, it's still nice to have more options, I would say. And yeah, all the bad versions of Goddess Metamorphosis that have a stun instead of HP demerits. So Tammy Lancer and I believe Ishtar Summer as well. So... And I guess if you haven't buffed your John, yeah, here's a great one for you. if there's someone like that out there. Yeah, it's not bad at all. And again, it's the only anti-stun CC in the game, right? So it will definitely give it more points. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Yeah, even Lip has ways to combat it herself, though. But yeah, for her, it's not bad either. I think it's an A. Kinda niche, but it's the only of its kind, and it definitely has many uses, so I think A is very fair. Great CC. Good anti-stun. Now, this is a cool one. Okay, this is a cool 5-star. So, you get 1 time, 2 turns of 50% healing received. Not done, received. Keep that in mind. It's very different, okay? There's so many healing effects. This is how much healing the target or the guy who uses this card gets 1 time or 2 turns, and then it expires. So I feel like this is mostly gonna be a solo thing, but even then it has uses outside of solos as well. It is not a bad, it's actually a really good CC, and this has a really cool combo as well. You probably see it, you might know it already with another 5-star CC you'll see later. But even on its own, even if you don't do the combo, which I assume a lot of people will do the combo, it's great. It's just great. Any servant with a considerable self-heal, yeah, it's great. Like, I think most notably things that come into my mind, like Kiara, especially after her MP buff, when her MP was, is it like 3,000 or 4,000 on base OC healing, which is insane. So yeah, for something like that. I mean, people mention Enkidu as well, but I feel like Enkidu already heals enough. But yeah, absolutely. You're gonna heal like, what, 15k with this on max rank? Kinda nuts. That's gonna guarantee almost like a max HP. So, yeah. Yeah, that's something worth mentioning as well. Like Jack, who has her heal is pretty weak. Like, it's just a heal, and the number isn't massive, but it's a very short cooldown. So for something like that, this also works, so definitely. And many other short cooldowns like Archuria and Void Shiki, very short cooldowns on their heals. I feel like this is... I want to place it in A. Do you guys think it's EX? It's probably the best healing one, so maybe it's EX. And it has a lot of uses, I feel like. Yeah, it probably has to be EX. Even though I still think healing is not the best defensive effect, it's still very strong, like very, especially when you combo it with the other 5-star CC later. And even then, just really strong. Maybe one of the lower EXs like White Vessel as well. I feel like these two are definitely above, but super strong. Super strong. Both solos and also works for some team stuff as well. Now, this one removes 1 attack up from enemy and you heal 100 HP. I almost said 100%. That would be insane. Best CC in the game. No. So, attack up is not the most lethal buff out there. Like, the stuff you... Like, if an enemy has offensive buffs, the stuff you mainly worry about is crit chance increase. Or maybe even crit damage. Crit chance is one of the worst. And so we will have some of those as well. But attack up usually isn't the end of the world. It's usually bad if you combo it. It's still... It's not super niche, though, because of it. Because there's a lot of attack buffs in the game. And something I should mention with all these buff removal CCs is that... Sadly, a lot of modern bosses have unremovable buffs. The buffs you can mostly remove from bosses are the ones that are on their own skills. Like, let's say you're fighting like a boss version of Arjuna, right? He probably has some unremovable stuff, but then he's gonna use his first skill, which is attack up and the damage bonus against debuff target. So there you could absolutely remove this attack buff. So yeah, it's okay. It's a great support one, I would say, but not the greatest one out there. I would probably place it in like C. Just a solid support one, but nothing crazy. I feel like some other effects are going to be better, like a crit chance down, which we'll see later as well. So yeah, decent. Definitely decent. I think I have this on my Jinako right now as well, actually. Fun fact. Alright, Pigeon Report. Remove 1 crit damage up. Okay, I have to emphasize, in my opinion, this could be a heated topic. In my opinion, crit chance up is much worse for you on the enemy than crit damage. It's still nice to remove crit damage, but in my opinion, crit chance is better. But besides that, if you remove 1, you get that crit chance down as well for 3 turns. So it's like a good combo. It synergizes with itself, funnily enough. Yeah, this one always has it as well, but I think a lot of enemies also tend to only have crit chance up and not crit, because hardly ever is there like only crit damage. I think crit damage mainly exists with crit chance, but crit chance up can exist alone as well, pretty commonly. I saw a lot of people were saying A, but I'm not sure if I can place this on A. It's great when it works, but I would prefer just to remove do a crit chance removal to begin with. Although it is a 3-turn debuff, which is, if you do land this can actually make a difference. Maybe a B, maybe like a higher B. Yeah, it's definitely one of the better support ones to have, though. For like, I guess this is both offensive and defensive when you think about it. Yeah. So it's not that bad. I'll leave it at here for now. Well, let's keep going with this one. Okay, so first of the class niches. Crit damage against sabers. Not just, keep in mind, this is saber enemies, not just servants. So it's a bit more flexible. 25% crit damage against every saber in the game. Pretty good. Pretty damn good, right? And especially because it's Sabre, right? Because archers have that nice natural absorb, who you're mostly going to be used this on. Obviously, you can use this on, like, if you want to meme around MHX, MHX Alter. I'm probably forgetting some other stuff too. But yeah, mostly going to be used on archers. But hey, it's really, really good. Not the best of its kind as far as I remember, but super nice. Like, just really good damage one, yeah. I think it's an A. I don't think I can place it at EX though, but it's just really good. Really, really good. Just a very easy one to place. Alright, then we got the interesting healing one. So it's a 200 HP recovery, but it's for the entire party instead of just the servant that has this. I still think this is pretty weak, to be honest. I feel like it could have used another effect as well. It's cool, it's cute, but a 5-star CC, I mean, it's just a bit weak. It doesn't really do that much. Like, you compare it to like Aurora, that is a 4 stars. That's way more impactful than like 200 party healing. Way more impactful. It's definitely one of the weaker 5 stars, I think. Still, definitely good fodder, absolutely. Not terrible by any means. But probably like here, it's just an okay one, much like the Mashu one. So these 5 stars might be one of the worst ones in the game. But they're still fine. But I wish it was a bit better though. Alright, now we get some Gamba, because it's the BB slot one. So, when you use this card, when it's engraved to, you get one of these effects. You either get 5 stars, you heal yourself for 500, or you get a 1-turn 10% debuff resistance up. Honestly, I feel like obviously the stars one is probably the one you want the most. It's very nutty. Healing one isn't bad either, because it's 500. It's not bad. but the debuff resistance probably won't be making that much of a difference. Unless you have like a servant that already has a high base one, let's say like Quetzalcoatl, that has like 50% base, or Steno I also believe has one, and maybe some others too. Then it could be cool to make it even more consistent. But even if it's RNG, I feel like it's not that bad. There's going to be another RNG one later, which I absolutely hate. But this one is not terrible. It's actually okay results across the board, I would say. Obviously, you still, in 99% of the cases, you probably want the 5 stars, but a 33% chance ain't the worst. And the other effects are fine, so I feel like this is a B tier one. B for BB slots, get it? Yeah, it's not bad at all. I think this is on my Jinako as well, actually. Alright, now this is like a really interesting case. It's very odd. Okay, so first of all, you remove 1 debuff immune buff from the enemy, which is really a niche thing, a very niche thing. And then you also get crit. Luckily, you don't have to remove this to get this. You always get this anyway, which is crit damage against enemies, not just servants, all enemies with the good alignments. So that's an interesting thing, huh? Very interesting. It's an okay one, I feel like, but the first effect is pretty rare. But good alignment is not the most rare thing out there, obviously. So it's still fine, I feel like. It's still fine, definitely. Just the first one is a bit awkward. Like, usually when a boss has a debuff immune, it's usually unremovable anyway, right? Yeah, I was gonna get to that, y'all, when we get the Kiara one. I'm gonna mention that. Is there anyone with increased damage against good alignment? There's Salome, and then I think there was someone else. Fuck, let me look at my notes. Maybe I wrote this down. I hope I did. Salome has anti-good, and... I can't see my notes. Etchan has one. Was it the foreigner Etchan, right? Or was it... No, it was just Berserker, right? Yeah, they after the buff. Yeah. It's Berserker, yeah. Okay. So something for those, maybe. Although, to be honest, for Salome, this sucks. Maybe for Etchan, because she has some crit potential, but Salome really has, like, 0 crit potential. So I would still not put this on Salome at all. Anyway, I feel like this is like a B. It's not the most niche thing out there for the crit damage. The first one is a bit but it's still fine. It's still pretty good. Yeah. Not bad. Alright, another dog. We got first of the poison ones. I mean, again, the damage is irrelevant, even though it's higher here. And then this one even comes with the demerit of 100 damage to yourself. Okay, let me first remind myself. What were the other poison ones? Okay, that's already better. That's probably the best one, maybe. Yeah, so there's 3 poison ones. This is probably the worst one of the poison ones. Yeah, this has to be the worst of the ones. I mean, obviously, stuff you want to mention is Robin, obviously, because, you know, his MP scales off of, or the bonus modifier scales off poison on the enemy. And then other stuff you could mention, if you care, Serenity, Shuten. Not a whole lot to go on with poison, though. Not a whole lot. Pretty bad, I would say. Pretty bad. Maybe even more niche than the curse one, to be honest. Yeah, honestly, when earlier I said curse might be the worst. Honestly, I think poison is the worst. Yeah, I think poison is the worst. It still has use, but man, it's rare. Well, I placed this one here. Honestly, because this is the worst of the poison ones, I'm gonna place it here. The others might be like here, or maybe even here, but the worst one has to be here, because it's not the only option you have. Although sometimes you might want all 3 of them if you want to meme around, but for a serious thing, you might not want 3 of them on one servant. So yeah, I'm gonna place it here. Now, this is an interesting one. I like the fact that it gives stars. There's many of these that give stars, so that's good. 2 stars when attacking. And then another thing is that you get crit damage against enemies that are charmed. So that's an interesting one. Obviously, you want this on a DPS because of the second effect. You could still, like, if you could absolutely attach this to a support just for the stars. If you want, like, a support with, like, 5 command codes that all give stars, It's a cute idea, I suppose, but besides that, you want this on a DPS, but even then, you would prefer a DPS that can actually charm themselves, unless you're gonna run supports that charm, like, let's say you were that one guy who's gonna run Matahari support, then maybe it doesn't matter who your DPS is, but, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, true, it is not crit damage only, it's all damage, my bad. Yeah, so it's a bit better than, because of that, yeah, true. All damage, better than crit damage. So yeah, I feel like mostly gonna be used on, I guess, Parvati, Kama, Summer Kama, right? Anyone else that comes to mind? Probably not. Tammy Lancer, yeah, not a bad idea, honestly. So, the stars are good. The other effect, kind of niche, but I still think it's fine. Still pretty fine. Even for just the stars alone, it's not bad at all, so. And because it's all damage against charm, so, yeah. Yeah, I guess you could even do the, charm meme lock team, like, right? Even there you can maybe use this. Yeah, Shooten as well has an AoE charm. Yeah, I think B is fair. All right, now this is the CC, like, so this is an interesting thing. So this one was good alignment. This one is damage, not just crit, again, all damage against lawful, and it's bonus damage against ruler. Now this is really cool because I actually checked when I was going over the CCs. Every single ruler in the game besides Sherlock and Himiko are actually lawful alignment. So that's really good. That's like really, really good. It's like really good synergy. Almost every rule in the game besides Sherlock and Himiko are lawful alignment. So obviously best case use should be on Berserkers and best case Avengers. So it's really good. And Kiara as well, obviously, because she has the ruler passive as well. So for those, it's really good. Yeah. But probably the best on Avengers. Oh yeah, Oberon as well, true. I think... Can I place this at EX? It's really good for what it does, though. But rulers are still kind of rare. But even then, at least the lawful, all damage against lawful still works against anyone who's lawful. Maybe I'll place it in A, just because of rulers being kind of rare. But it's a great one regardless. It's just a very great one for what it does. It's a bit too niche for me to place it at EX, though. Does Samakira have weakness against ruler? Oh, you mean like bonus against ruler? I believe she also has the same passive. Correct me if I'm wrong. At least the ruler part. All right, let's see. Crit damage on a Buster card, 15%. Cute. Again, honestly, you think this would be making it less like... I mean, it kind of makes it a bit more less flexible, but not really, right? Because you're gonna attach it to one card anyway, right? So... Where did I play? This one was the 10% crit damage on any card. I just feel like this is better. Even though you might think it's like worse, it's not, right? It's just better. It doesn't matter if it requires a specific card. It's still better, pretty much. The flexibility doesn't really matter too much here. So I feel like it's just a tier above. And Buster tends to be the card you want crit damage the most anyway, right? Because those are the, you know, press red, enemy equals dead. So, especially for Buster, I have to place it above the base 10%. So, there you go. Good CC, very good. Simple, effective, love it. Alright, so here we go again with the undead one. This is, if I had to guess, this is probably the highest undead one, but yeah, if you remember me mentioning earlier, undead, not a single servant in the game, as far as I know, is considered undead, so that already makes bosses kind of relevant. Some mobs, yeah, but yeah, it's just, it's a bad anti-niche, I would say. Pretty bad. It's as far as I know, it's the best one. Let me actually check, just in case. Yeah, there's 10, there's 5, and then, yeah, it's the best one for undead. But, it's a D, maybe a E+. I'll leave it a D just because it's the best anti-undead one. But undead is just not that good of a niche to have. Just weak. So, yeah. Could maybe even be E+, to be honest. That might be a bit harsh. One of the worst of the undead ones was here. But I'm going to place it here because I feel like I'm going to place the middle one here then. So, yeah, it's like a D-. There you go. Now, the Da Vinci-chan one. So, self-MP damage up 15% for one turn when attacking. Like, obviously, a good use for this is, you know, normally you don't want to start with a face card, right? Before your MP, damaging MP. In this case, you would, right? Because 15% more MP damage, that's kind of nice. That is pretty nice. There's another variant of this later that's a bit more support oriented, but this is definitely for the big dig DPS right here. And obviously, yeah, that's good to mention, Torak. Really good with the existence of Oberon as well, who has a special buff that makes MP damage up effects scale up. So that makes the CC a better as well. Yeah, honestly, I think this could be EX. Yeah, I think it might just be. I'm not sure if I'm going to place the other one at EX. I feel like this is a better version. Because, you know, it's more targeted. But, it's just really good. It's either EX or A. I mean, if it was... Yeah, 15% is kind of nice. You'd think it would be like 10% or something, right? The usage is a bit awkward, yes. But I feel like it's way more than worth it to the awkward use. Okay, let's leave it on A for now. Maybe like an A+, you know? Maybe. You know what? Let me make an A+ here. Because I think it's a really good one. So let's see. We'll make one again. Some of these might not have pluses, but it is what it is. Alright, let's see. This is going to be A+. This color. There you go. Pretty good. Very good. So, what is this one? Oh, the arts absorb one. So... We already had the 4-star one that is just 100% absorb on any card. This is the same, but an arts card. So I feel like this is just gonna be a C then, right? Oh wait, that was an A. Maybe, actually it's B then. It's B. Yeah, it's definitely B. But it's a tier below it just because it's a little bit less versatile. Although, I could maybe make a B+ here. Because the difference isn't that massive, right? You know what? We're gonna make a B+ as well. Yeah. Alright. We're doing it. Again, I told you this was going to be on the fly, unedited, so... Alright, this is B+. Welcome to the gang. There you go, we got B+ now as well. It's only just slightly worse than this because of the versatility, but still a very strong CC. So there you go. I'm not going to add D+ and C+ yet until we get some examples on those. Alright, next one. This one was the Ignore Invul one. Much like the... Sure Hit one, it's way less useful than what it seems. It's better. Now we might get the plus one, actually. Because this was a... Yeah, this is a D+. Because Invul Pierce is just a bit better than Sure Hit. So, yeah, we're gonna get this one. Now we get the D+ as well. There you go. We got it. This color? There you go. So, there you go. Just better than the Sure Hit one, but still not the most impactful CC out there. Some cute niche uses for like setups from, you know, time attack, but besides that, not a whole lot of use for it. Decent filler. Alright. Fix the colors. Are the colors messed up? I think they're fine. Is there something wrong with the colors? I think it's fine. Anyway, another 5-star one. Crit damage against Divine. 30%, which I believe is the highest crit damage you can have on a CC. It's not the only one, but it is the highest number. And yeah, that is pretty nice. That is pretty nice. I think this could be an A+. Because it's the max crit damage and Divine is not even super rare. It could be A+, I think. I'm not going to place it EX though. This is either A or A+. Just very strong. Maybe just because it's the best one for, like, highest crit damage number and the trait isn't super rare. A lot of bosses are divine after all. I think it's A+ worthy. I really think it's A+ worthy. A great CC. And again, you don't even have to use it on anti-divine servants already. You can kind of use it on a lot of others when we have that freedom to move shit around. So it's going to be one of those that you're going to be using a lot, needless to say. Because a lot of bosses are divine, like I keep saying. Right, so party crit damage up 5% one time, one turn. Correct me if I'm wrong, you have to use the crits on the same chain, right? It has to be the chain you get this on, right? So you have to like open with the support card basically, and then crit with your DPS or whatever on the same turn after that card. Yeah, it's really awkward. It would be a lot better if it was one time, two turns, but... Yeah, you have to, like, you're not going to use this on a DPS, basically, so you're going to have to open with a support card, which more often than not is an arts card, which already cuts down a lot of your damage, so... I mean, I guess like you would put this on a buster card if you are gonna use it for a support, but yeah, it's just the number is so small and it's super awkward. It's like an E+, I would say. Barely like a placeholder, I would say. Yeah. You could put in a Buster Brave Chain, put in a starting card. I mean, if it was one turn instead of one time, one turn, yeah, maybe. But again, remember, what one time, one turn means is that it's immediately, the buff goes away when you crit once. So, it would be a lot better if it was like either a 2-turn here or just flat out one turn without the one time. But there's so many factors in here that just make it really awkward and kind of bad. Alright, this one. Remove MP damage from enemy, MP damage up, and if you are successful, they get arts res down 10% 3 turns. Huge debuff, but man, this is not the easiest thing to do. This is not the easiest thing to do. You need to remove a MP damage up. The debuff is really nice, don't get me wrong. One of the best ones in the entire list here, but it's really hard to actually do that. So I feel like it's like a C or C. Is this the C+? Maybe not a C+. I think some others could deserve a C+ instead. Yeah, it's just a C, I think. I'm placing it on C instead of like lower just because of how good the debuff is if you actually land it. The debuff definitely, the potential, I'll give you some potential points, but I really can't place it higher than a C then. MP, how often? Yeah, you're right. Most MP damage ups are one turn. You know what? Yeah, it's a D+. It's a D+. Because a lot of the MP damage ups they're going to use it on the turn anyway, and then it's already going to fade away when your next turn starts. So, man, you're going to need someone who has like a multi-turn MP damage up as well. Yeah, D+ because of potential, but it's really hard to pull off. Alright, then we got the brush. When on arts card, 20% crit damage. Simple, effective, not bad. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so I placed the 15% buster one on B. Yeah, it's B. This is a B+. It's a B+. It's just easy as that, right? I think it's a B+. Maybe an A, honestly. Maybe an A. Wait, what's the highest arts crit one, actually? I actually don't know which one is the highest. Wait. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's not absorb. It's crit damage. For some reason, I saw someone say like absorb or something. 20% is high. Honestly, you know what? Even though the difference between this and that is 5%, and you could maybe put this here as well because of that, and maybe I should. But, you know, yeah, honestly, A. Yeah. Yeah. It's still a very favorable CC to have on an arts crit servant. Not niche at all on that on that topic. Move that 15% buster to B+. I could. Should I move this to B as well then? No, 10% is... Okay, the difference between these are 5%, and one is buster and one is everything. What do you guys think? Damn, that's a hard one, actually. This becomes a little bit more complicated. Maybe it is B then, yeah. Because it's so easy to slap on anything, and it's still gonna be fine. So yeah, we'll have 10%, 15%, 20%. That's fair. That's pretty fair, I would say. Because they are good Cs. Crit ones are pretty good. Now, oh my god. Did someone say Prisma Cosmos MLB? Yeah, Mages of Flowers. 10% MP gauge. 3-turn cooldown, but man, like, on solo it kind of sucks. But for, like, normal clears where your deck rotates on a 3-turn cycle anyway, I mean, sure, you could still get this card on, like, turn 3, and then again on turn 4, and then it doesn't work, but... Man, is this really amazing, huh? Like, it's an MLB 5-star effect, like, more or less every 3 turns. That's insane, and it's MP gauge. Like, it's really strong. This one has to be EX. It has to be EX. Like, there's not even an argument to be made. Top 3 CCs in the game, I'm pretty sure. Every support's wet dream. And also for those DPS that have really shitty gains, like, let's say Shisho or Abigail, also really good for them as well. game changer? Honestly, I kind of agree. This will have an impact. In some of my videos as well, I think, yeah, when I did the, I forgot what challenge quest it was, when I did the minimum turn Luvia kill, I actually needed this CC because her gains were not enough to loop. I needed the 10% from this on the first MP loop. So it actually can be a real game changer. And there you go. And absolutely Jordanian. Even though, you know, you might think it's MP, like MP per turn. No, you can still slap this on any card. It doesn't have to be an arts card. Any card you want, it's gonna do the same thing. How amazing is that? Alright, I guess this list might be a bit longer than expected, but honestly, it is what it is. Wait, is this the next one? Wait a minute. Why is the sheep one here? I think... Honestly, I guess I'll do the order of the wiki then. It's not gonna matter too much. It's okay. All right, the sheep one. What's his name again? Dumuzid, right? Something like that. So another dot removal, huh? This one is just better. Yeah, this is just better. So where did I place that one? It's on C. This is a C plus. There you go. There's the C plus. 100 healing isn't enough to put it on another tier. I'm just gonna add a C plus. And we actually ended up having all the pluses then. Yeah, as simple as that. Just a better version of this CC. Alright, brief disconnect. In case you were wondering, here watching this as a video later. My internet died, so we should be back where we left off. So I placed this on C+, just because it's the same effect as this, plus 100 healing. Not enough for me to put it on a whole new tier, so it's just above it on a plus, so there you go. How about that? Alright, let's continue. The next one is this one, huh? Remove 1 defense up from enemy and crit damage. So, what was the previous one we had? Let's see. I need to remind myself. Defense up. Was it that one? No, it was this one. So it only did this one. And then this, where did I place that? I placed that on C. And what was the other effect? 10% crit damage? Honestly, I think it's better than a plus then. It's probably... because this was here. It's B then, probably, I think. I mean, it kind of has to be. Wait, it's a B plus, isn't it? Because this is a 10% crit damage on any card. This is 10% crit damage on any card. Plus, it can remove a defense up. So it has to be B plus, right? Because it's better than this. It's just better than this. I feel like the... even though it's not the easiest thing to do, it's just better, right? I wouldn't say A necessarily, though. Because the... active effect, remove a defense up, is not the most common thing that's gonna happen, so yeah, great CC. How about that? I like that now placing some of these will become a lot easier when you think about it, because, you know, a lot of the effects will be similar, so I'm just gonna gauge on how it compares. Wow. Fix those colors. What's up with the colors, man? What, does it matter what the colors are, bro? You're the second person to talk to me about the colors. I think they're fine. You can still see what the letters are, right? Okay. C plus a D. What? Yeah, I mean, are there more colors? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. D is gonna be like gray or something. There you go. Alright, now they're different. Okay, you better be happy now. Alright, Chains of Heaven. 20% divine damage. Where did I place the divine crit one? I placed it on B. Ooh. Was there another divine one here as well? There was this divine crit one. I mean, this has to be the same then as the crit one. The crit one was 30%, but this is all damage, right? I feel like they should be the same. I feel like this should be the same, right? Because you have a bigger number on the crit, but this one doesn't even need a crit. I feel like they break even, so... here we go. This goes nicely with the other divine one. Man, anti-divine is eating well, huh? Yeah. That's some good stuff. Very good. Super strong. Will be relevant for many bosses. Right. Oh, now we get this one. So, the first of the burn ones. It's just a burn. That's it. Nothing else. Just a burn. But Burn, honestly, is the best one. Now I finally get to mention why, and most of you already might have known why. Burn is easily the best of the dodge because of the existence of one Honey Lake CE, which literally gives you a 35 to 40% damage increased against targets that are burning, on top of an Invul Pierce, and it's full attack. It's an completely broken CE. Sadly, it's a summer limited 5-star CE, but most people are going to be rolling for summer waifus anyway. Like, even if you get one copy of this, it's already really good. Like, this is an insanely, stupidly good CE. And that's why Burn CCs are way better than Poison and Curse. Basically because of this. But I will still not place them in, like, EX or anything, because it's still a limited 5-star CE you can get, like, twice in the history of the game so far, I think. So I gotta keep that in mind. But it will make Burns better. And even outside of this, like, you have Yanguife herself, who applies burns and has a burn damage modifier on her MP. So, even outside of that, it has use. So, this is the highest so far of the dots. This one is a C, I think. This is the base burn one. Maybe a C+. Okay, this is like, how much emphasis do I want to put on Honey Lake? That's the real question here. Because depending on who you might ask, someone might say, honestly, just put all burns into EX. And I honestly might not blame them. I don't want to do that, though. I don't want to put them into EX. That CE is just really good, though. But another thing you should keep in mind is that, especially during events, a lot of events have damage Cs, which are obviously going to give you a better bonus anyway than Honey Lake. So this is Honey Lake is mostly going to be for, like, story boss battles, right? Where you obviously don't have event damage bonus Cs. So even though the C is amazing, it's not always the best option when you have, right? So this is the base burn one. I'm going to see how I do with the other ones. I'll place it on, like, C+, just because Honey Lake is that strong with this. But yeah, like, both solo, especially solo, but also works for team comps as well. Burns are going to be the hardest one to place here, in case someone skips to this or whatever. I might mention this during every burn, so again, I can kind of understand if you want to place burns really high as well. But for the sake of, like, being a bit more realistic, I'm not going to place them insanely high. Alright, Cosmic Balance, 4 stars. Damage against threat to humanity targets 10%, and Sabre enemies 10%. And it's all damage on both, not just crits, not anything special. It's all damage on both. So just for the Sabre one alone, it's pretty okay, I would say. Not bad at all. Definitely a very decent one. This one, obviously, a bit rare of a thing to happen. Actually, very rare, in fact. But just the 10% Sabre damage, I feel like already is good on a CC. Mostly going to be using on archers, but maybe as well Etchan and MHX, and honestly, you could maybe other berserkers as well, and pretenders when we get more of them as well. So where did I place the Sabre crit damage one, which I believe was this one, but it was a high number, and it was only for that. This one has 2 effects, so the number is a bit smaller. I feel like it's B or B+. It's definitely below it, I would say. What do you guys think? It's a B or a B+. Maybe B, because, you know, it's all damage, but it's 10%. And the other one is very rare. The other effect is just very rare. And chances are when you're fighting threat to humanity, they're not going to be a Sabre anyway. So hardly ever can you get effect, you know. If they were very common together, then obviously it would be a lot better. But they're not really common together at all, are they? So still a good CC for the Sabre damage. Absolutely. Alright, Mistress of Heavens. Buster crit, 25%. So this is the apex right here. I mean, it just has to be here. It's Buster, it's the max crit. Well, not the max, the highest is 30%, but they're harder to achieve. But this is always going to be 25%. It's so easy to enable. So easy to enable. And there's so many, like, you can, any servant that has crit synergy, especially if they have a nice Buster focused deck, this is going to be one of the best CCs for them, if not just the best. So, mostly, like, Super Orion, for instance, is going to be really nutty. Oh my god, that song was really loud, holy crap. Yeah, just an amazing CC. Easy EX tier. Then we got the bed. Now this is cool. This is a remove, just flat out removes a crit chance from the get-go. And then heals for 100. Great, great support CC. Absolutely great. Really good. Crit chance of the ones you... Of all the things you can remove here, the buffs from enemies, I feel like crit chance up might be the best for removal. That you want to remove, basically. I think it's like an A, honestly. Because it's not the only crit chance, so it might be one of the weakest ones. But man, crit chance removal is always going to be nice. Because, like, outside of MP turns, that usually if you get fucked on a CQ or a boss or whatever, it's against crits, right? So... having this plus potentially some crit chance downs on your kit, on your servants as well, really means that you're going to be taking less damage quite a bit. So, really good for like any challenge quest support in the game on one of their cards. Super good. Then we got the bird 4-star, Astolfo's bird, right? The Griffin. Quick card. Crit damage up 20%, simple, effective. So was this 15%? It's an A then. It's an A then. It's just an A then, right? Even though it's quick, still, you can. I mean, even because with the existence of Scotty, you can make quick crits even better. So I feel like it's just an A then. It's very strong. 20%, yeah. 20% on any quick card crit damage. Very solid. Not much to say about it. Just really solid. Someone like Shisho would, for instance, would very much love this. She has quite a bit of crit focus. So, yeah. That's one example, I suppose. Melt, yeah, definitely. Melt, abs, yeah, how could I forget? Amazing on Melt. Dolman, yes. Van Gogh, yes. Like, you could go on and on with this. Many good, quick servants that have a crit focus. Okita, yes. Tyra, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's this CC from? I don't remember. I don't remember most of these. Maiden of Orleans. So this is the combo that was mentioned earlier with the Tamamo one. So it's much like the Merlin one. It has a 3-turn cooldown, but you heal for 1,000. Now, this heal actually does something. Especially if you combo it with the Tammy one, this one heals you for 1,500. Although a lot of the time, the Tammy one is a one-time one, so you might not want to consume it on this, per se. You might want to consume it on, like, one of your skills or MPs instead for even a better heal. But it is a cute combo, especially for those that don't have any heals. The rolls will be uploaded before this, sad boy. I think this is like an A one. Maybe not even an A+. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty good. I don't think I can place it on EX though, or even maybe A+. I feel like the Tammy one is way more versatile. It is a good combo, but on its own, this one is not the most amazing CC out there. But it's great. It's just an all-around great CC that can just be used by kinda anyone in the game. So, just like, really good common use. Effect is fine too. 1,000 healing actually can make a difference. Right. Then we got Jinako's little mouse thingy. So, when you have it on a quick card, you get 100% absorb. Now, I have to, for absorb's sake, I think some of them are not, like, quick ones are not as good as arts ones, in my opinion. Arts ones tend to be better for absorb than quick ones. For crit, it's kind of irrelevant what the card type is, in my opinion. But for absorb and generation, it kind of does vary a little. So, where did I place the arts one? Which I believe was... Remind me... Did I place it already, or am I going crazy? So this one was the 100% base. So was it this one? Was it this one? It's this one, isn't it? Okay. I'm gonna place this on B then, just above this one. Because I think quick absorb is slightly weaker than arts. It's still good. You can absolutely, especially because some servants have really good gains on their quicks. But most of the time, arts is gonna be better for absorb. So I'm just gonna place it under the 100% arts absorb. Right here. I think that's very fair. Still pretty decent. Alright. Himeji Bat. Remove one again. Sadly, crit damage, not crit chance. It's still okay, but I would much prefer to remove a crit chance up. And then heals for 100. So what other crit damage one we have? What was the first one? There's one... No, that was crit. Oh, fuck. You know what? That's not good to search because now he's going to show me all the crit ones as well. God damn it. Whatever. Where is it again? There it is. It's okay. Maybe a C? What was the other crit? Like remove crit damage, get crit chance down on enemy. Was it this one? No, it wasn't. I forgot. It's this one. It's the pigeon. Okay. I'm gonna place it on C+ then, because they both remove a crit damage up, but this one has a much better follow-up than this. Although I guess this one doesn't need a follow-up, but even then, even though it's guaranteed with the 100 heal, it's not the most impactful thing. I still think this one is better for sure. This one is definitely better. So I'm just gonna place it here. It's okay for many supports still. Alright, another burn. And this one comes with 2 stars, so it's definitely better. I don't even care about the damage. It's that the damage again is very irrelevant. It's the 3-turn burn, and then this one comes with 2 stars. So the first burn was here. This is at least a B. Honestly, maybe a B+. I like stars. I'm pretty biased maybe, but I do like stars. Did I even place the correct one? I did. Yeah, I really like stars. Maybe a B+. Is it a B or a B+? Because it's both enabling bonus damage for young Guifei and every other servant that has Honey Lake. And stars are always going to be useful. So I feel like just because the effect is stars and of all the effects that it could have had, I think B+ is kind of fair. Is this the best burn one out there actually? I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out soon. Damage against demonic, 20%. Again, one of the 2 effects we've seen so far of the traits that is not that bad. I would say divine is definitely more the one you want most of the time over demonic, but demonic is still fine, and this is all damage against demonic, which is pretty good actually. I think this might be at least an A. At least an A. It's a 5-star one too. That's kind of cool. I think this is at least an A. Maybe not an A+ though. I really want to put this on A. Like, it's not even that difficult to fill this niche, to be honest. And it's all damage on the card. So the divine ones are here. It would be here. Maybe B+, because I do think divine is considerably more common than demonic. They might appear at the same time as well. But yeah, it's I'm so bored. I'm so in the border between B+ and A. I don't even know. Oh, that's a hard one to place. But definitely nothing lower than a B+. True, demonic has more mobs, less servants, but you don't really usually need CCs against normal mobs. That's the thing. So maybe that's why I'm going to place it on B+. Because it's mostly if I'm going to be fighting servants. Alright, Porridge Poison. Again, big damage, but no one cares about the number. And then... you heal the enemy. I guess even this demerit is better than doing 100 damage to yourself, because 300 healing on the enemy really doesn't matter at all. So where did I place the... This was the poison one, was it? Or was this the curse one? I think this was the poison one that hits you. So it's just going to be above it. Because it's the demerit is slightly less annoying. That's why. The damage being higher doesn't matter. Both are there for 3-turn poisons, and that's it. This one just has a less annoying demerit than this one does, so... There you go. I can't really put them that much higher. Blades of Nitendoraku. Buster card crit damage 20%. I mean, isn't that just an easy, like, A+? Isn't that just, like, a very easy A+ right there? Just above, or just below the 25? Yeah, makes a lot of sense to me, you know? Still amazing. Still really, really good. Like, most of the time when you have someone who does buster crits, they tend to have more than one buster card, right? So you have other options like this, the Gilgamesh one. So, yeah. Or maybe even the divine crit one. You never know. So, it's a great one. Just a simple and great. Really top. What's that sucks again, dude. Anyway, I was placing this one. So... It's damage against undead 10%. I placed the highest one here, the lowest one here. It's just in the middle, in case that didn't make it into the... before I disconnected, so there you go. It's just that it's like a filler, and that's it. It's just a filler thing. Not really worth using that much at all. Yeah, I have E-rank internet, that's true. Okay, 3 more. Anyway, now, hopefully we're back. Okay, so I was about to get into this CC from Voyager event, so... It's one of these that removes a dot, but this one also comes with 2 stars, which is really nice. I really like the stars ones, okay? So I placed the original one that just removes a dot here. This one removes a dot and I believe heals 100. So this is at least a B, but I want to put it on B+, just because stars are so nice. Maybe even A, but I feel like B plus is fair, because there's quite a bit of star ones. And a dot removal is not one of the best effects to go with it, so I think B plus is pretty fair. Let's just pray this doesn't disconnect anymore. God damn it. Oh man. So yeah, it's a great one. Just for the stars alone, and then you can sometimes use it to, you know, reduce the damage you take. Or your own demerits if you dot yourself. Is it then the Parvati one with 2 stars? I might say yes, honestly. Because this is, I think this one would have more use. Maybe it's the same then. Okay, maybe it's the same. Because, you know, damage bonus is nice, but I feel like this one is more... Maybe, okay, this effect is nicer, but this is more commonly used, I feel like. So maybe they break even because of that. Yeah, maybe they just break even. Alright, fine. I'll just leave it there. It definitely has to be at least B because this is here. And it's better than that. Viva la France. Star Absorb 100% and party. Okay, this one was... I remember seeing this when I went through these. This is really awkward. Like, like you want to have this probably on a DPS, but then you get like party utility, which is, you know... I don't know. I mean, it's still... Don't get me wrong. It's still a great CC just because of this. This is basically bonus on top. So it's still very good. But it's kind of an awkward pairing of effects. There's no way I'm going to place this on C plus Didavi. It's still really good for the 100% Star Absorb. Like this one is just 100% Star Absorb right here. When you think about it, right? This one is just a flat 100% Absorb. So it has to be at least an A. Maybe I can't put it on A plus though, because it's 100 AoE heal. Maybe it's not even worth a plus, to be honest. Maybe it's just basically the same thing. Because I feel like that other effect, even though you get it every time, it's just so minuscule, it's not really gonna do much at all. So I feel like even though, yes, it is better than this, maybe it's like A half plus. Maybe that's what it is. Like the difference is hardly noticeable at all, so... It's a very rare case where I would do this then. Still good though for the Absorb. Alright, MP Gen... Now, as far as I know, this is the only CC in the game that gives you MP generation. I can see why. They really don't want you to get this effect. It's a 3-star one, it's 5% MP gen. I love the effect. Like, MP generation, god tier effect. But man, the number sucks, so it's not going to make a big difference at all. So, it's the only one, but the number is so sad. It's just not going to do much. I feel like it's like, it's either a C or a C+. Probably C+, because it's the only one of its kind. But don't expect to get a huge payout out of this. It's good filler, that's it. The number is just that small, you know, so, yeah. There you go. Yeah, they don't want us to have MP gen on CCs besides this. Alright, what was the other burn? Or other burns that I had so far? Was there only one burn? There was this. Oh, this one was the other one with 2 stars. This is in the middle then. Yeah, this one is in the middle. So this is a B one. So this is your base burn, this is burn plus crit damage, and this is burn plus stars. So I think this order makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Yeah, I would say that makes a lot of sense. Again, mostly the dots are higher because of Honey Lake over here. I'm not gonna... Someone could place them on EX again. I want to mention this when I can, when I do burns, but I'm not gonna do that. I do acknowledge that it's a good, very, very good synergy though. Now, was this the only buff success rate up of the CC ones? So, it's for the user. It's not a party-wide one. It's for the user that has the card. Buff success rate up 20% one time. Luckily, it's two turns though. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be one turn because you literally couldn't even use a buff by the time. So, yeah. Honestly, I think this is underrated. If anything, I would place this on servants that have Imperial privilege, you know? Especially if you're going to solo with them. Like, for an Sabre, I feel like this is really good. Like, it's really, really good. You have an 80% instead of 20% chance to get IP buffs, which are massive. Or then you have the 80% servants, like Ishtar's Invul, you know? That kind of sucks if you miss that. Shitonai's attack up, stars per turn. Tesla's attack up, guts, defense up, whatever you have, whatever. So yeah, I think... One thing you can't do though, which I see some people write, you can't use this on Hans, sadly. The way this works, it's self-buff success rate up. So it will not help Hans land his buffs on everyone. It will help him land his buffs on himself, but it will not help with the others, sadly. Otherwise, this would be amazing if you could use this on Hans to guarantee buffs. But no. But and also, like I mentioned, I think it's the only buff success rate up. So I think I'm gonna place it pretty decently here because it has many uses. It's at least a B. Honestly, I think it's A. Some people might disagree, but I think this is an A one because there's so many good skills that are fucked by RNG, and this one really helps with that. It's not always gonna be there when you need it, sadly, obviously, but I feel like because of how unique it is and how much potential use it has, I feel like A is very fair. Maybe someone would even rate it higher, but I'm gonna leave it on A. Now this one, oh man. Like, what the fuck is the point of this card? Because remember, you get a random card buff. It's one turn. Correct me if I'm wrong. This has to be in the same Brave Chain. And because you don't know what you're gonna get, let's say this is on a Buster card, and your Brave Chain for the servant is Buster, quick. You're gonna get this on the Buster card, and then you're gonna get an Arts up or a Buster up. It's gonna do nothing. It's just gonna do nothing. Like, what? It's just like, it's not E. It's definitely not E. It's fun fodder, but it's like, oh man. You could like kind of make it work. Like, let's say you use it on your first card, get an Arts buff, then you MP with a looping MP. It could help a little, but man. Maybe it's like a D. This one might be the worst 5-star CC in the game in terms of usability, just because of how awkward it is. Yeah, maybe a D. I could see it being used somewhere, mostly for fun stuff, but most of the time, you're probably not going to get the most out of it. Okay, Mini Kuchan, remove attack. Oh, crit chance up, let's go. And then crit damage for card. A bit awkward because I would prefer a support effect instead here, because most of the time, you're not going to be running these utility ones on your DPSs. But even then, just for this effect, even if this, like, you could still place this in a support and this might be slightly wasted, just for a crit chance up removal, it's already very nice. I think the Nightingale bed was here, so it was a crit chance up and heal 100. I feel like this is just below it, so I'm gonna rate this a B+. I would prefer the Nightingale bed in most cases, but if you want more like uses or more crit chance downs, absolutely include this one in the deck as well. You misunderstand the bunny card, I think. Wait, what does it do then? What do you mean? No, I don't think I do, Jordanian. I think I... Wait, explain it to me how it works then. It's a one-turn buff, and it's an offensive buff, so it expires after your turn ends. Or after your attack ends. So it has to be the same turn. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Oh, wait. No, it doesn't. No, there's no way. Yeah, it's a random buff. It doesn't increase the damage of the card. Dude, it would be amazing if it did. No, dude, I'm pretty sure I'm correct here, Jordanian. Yeah. It gives you a random... you're gonna get a 10% Buster up, 10% Arts up, or 10% Quick up when you use the card it's engraved to, whatever it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm correct here. Anyway. Someone can test it out. But I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Alright, more stars. Beautiful. And removes one defense debuff. Great support one. Just another great one. Just really nice. And this is not like... remove defense up is niche, but defense debuffs, there's a lot of them. This doesn't just mean defense down. This also means like increased damage taken. All the card resistance is down as well, and I think some other stuff as well. This one is a lot more versatile. This is great. It's at least an A. At least an A. I'm almost tempted to put an A+, but I might keep it on A for now. A really solid support CC, I would say. Really good. Alright, then we got the other version of the Da Vinci Chang. I think this is not as good, though. This is definitely not as good, though. The other one was 15% MP damage for self for one turn. This is 8% MP damage for the entire party. It's not bad, but I feel like it's not as good as the other one. This is fine for your supports, though. That's true. It's still very usable. But I don't think it's as usable as the other one on a DPS, if that makes sense. It's still good, I would say. So if I place the other one on A+, this one might be a B+, maybe an A? Is it that close? Maybe a B+. It could be A, because of how unique it is, and it's still not bad. But even then, hard to place. I might just leave it here, to be honest. Still a good CC. Good CC. But, yeah. You gotta keep in mind the usage, it makes it a bit awkward as well, because you have to start with face cards on MP turns. So that's something to think about again. Mini Nobu, crit damage 5% and 1 star. So where did I place this? Is again, let's use the 10% crit damage one here. Do you guys think this is equal, worse, or better than 10% crit damage? So it's 5% crit damage and 1 star. Is it equal? Is it better? Is it worse? I might say it's either equal or worse. I don't think it's better, at least. Because 1 star, it's okay, but, you know, it's not going to break the bank. I feel like, yeah, maybe it's a C+. I think most people would agree it's worse. Still decent, of course, but, yeah. What is this song? What the hell am I listening to? Okay, whatever. Alright, more Nobu stuff. We got the Demon King gun. So, crit damage, 25%, but it only works on Burning Field. So that really limits it, doesn't it? I mean, you don't necessarily have to have someone who applies this, because some maps do have it, but I don't think most maps definitely don't have Burning Field. It's definitely aimed for Mao Nobu. It's pretty obvious, because she can also apply the Burning Field herself, right? And also Summer Nobu. Although, I guess it works for her too, because she has that absorb skill, yeah. So probably for one of those. Otherwise, I wouldn't necessarily use this at all. It's so, like, specific. Yeah, Sunlight is actually very common. Yeah. Number is good, but man, it's a niche. C. C. Just because it has at least 2 good servants that could use it, being Mao Nobu and Nobu Summer. Well, it is hard to show, but yeah. This one is really nice. The Okitan 5-star one. Absorb up 100% and crit damage. So, let's see. I placed the 100% here. It's at least an A+. At least. What do you guys think? Is it an EX? I might just leave it an A+. Because 100% absorb is the main gimmick. It's just a bit of bonus on top. I don't think it's enough of a difference. Like, the 10% crit damage will not make it jump from A to EX. But it's still really nice. Like, absolutely a really nice CC, for sure. These goddamn songs. Alright. Leviathan. Heal 100 and get 1 star. Decent fodder for a support, I would say. So where's the other healing ones? So this is the 200 healing one, right? Honestly, I think it's better. I would place this on D+. Or maybe even a C. I would rather have 1 star than 100 healing. Let me rehydrate, actually. My voice is starting to die. Yeah, maybe it's C, just because of how easy it is to use it. Or C+. One of those. This is a very cursed song. Again, YouTube won't know the context, though. I'll leave it at C+. I think it's very flexible, easy to use. Good stuff. Pestle, 4 stars, crit damage 10% and ignore defense. Now, when I went through this, I noticed this is the only CC in the game so far that has ignore defense, but I wouldn't really put too much emphasis on it, because again, if you need ignore defense, you're probably going to bring a servant that already has ignore defense in their kit, be it MP or like Sherlock or whatever. So I feel like, much like Invul Pierce and Sure Hit, it's a nice effect, but you don't really need it on a CC. That's what I mostly feel like. Even though, again, it is the only CC as far as I know so far with ignore defense. But it's still 10% crit damage. It's still better than the 10% one we have, which is here. So I'm just gonna place it on... I'm gonna place it on B+. I can't put it a full tier above just because of the ignore defense, but I will give it a plus at least, because sometimes it can help, you know? It definitely can help, so I think B+ is very fair. I think a lot of these rankings are actually pretty good. Yeah, not to toot my own horn too much, but I'm actually pretty happy with this list so far. What if you don't have ignore defense servants? Then one card with ignore defense is not gonna make you prevail a battle that has a defense stack. I'm sorry to inform you. It's just a nice bonus. This one card will not win you the battle. Anyway. How 5-star Heavenly Emperor's Concert. Crit damage against burn targets 30%. Actually pretty damn good, because remember, you can apply burn from CCs on top of servants that also apply burn. So I think this goes into the these ones. This is an A+, much like the divine one. You can make this work against anyone, unlike this one, but you have to do something to make this work. Like, if you're fighting divine, this one always works. So I think they break even because of that, right? I think it's very fair to say that. To me, that makes a perfect sense, you know? Yeah, you need to have burn active, yes. But the bonus side compared to the divine one that always works is that you have, like, you can do this against anyone who's not immune to burns, basically, with CCs and maybe even not CCs. Because servants have burns in their kits as well, so... yeah. I could maybe see this, but I'm gonna play, like, EX, but I'm gonna place it on A+. Tarask. Poison and crit damage. Was this the best poison? I think it is, which is really sad. Because the other one comes with demerits, because no one cares about the damage numbers. So this is the best poison one. So... where was this was the bad one, this was the less bad one, so this is gonna be here. That's the order. Worst, worse, least worst, I guess. I think I'm gonna place them like that. As far as I know, those are the only 3 poisons as well, right? Maybe I'll see some later. Alright, Buster card. Crit damage against Dragon. Okay, so we had a one earlier for Dragon crit damage, but it was on any card. But honestly, it doesn't matter. If anything, you're gonna use it on Buster anyway. So where did I place that? That was that an A or what? Yeah, it was... wait, was this the one? I think this was the one, wasn't it? Or was it up here? Oh no, it was this one, right? So this has to be A+ then, right? Because I think this one was the... any card, Buster crit damage, right? Or any card, Dragon crit damage. So this is just better, basically. Oh, that's the damage one. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna put it here then. So this is the... wait, where is it? This is the crit damage one. This is the damage one. And this is the higher crit damage one. Do we want to put any of them in between, though, is the question. I feel like these are kind of interchangeable. Because, again, it's the same thing as some of the other ones, where you trade some damage, but you get a higher number here. So they should be the same, I feel like. Yeah. I think this is okay, even though there is a plus in between the 4-star one as well. Honestly, you know what? No, I'm just going to bump up the 4-star one here. Yeah, there you go. That just makes more sense. Because it's not a massive difference between the 4-star crit one and the 5-star crit one, so... there you go. Good. Arjuna's CC 3 stars when attacking and heals 200. Amazing support one. Like, really good. That is really, really good, man. That is top. I'm gonna put it on A+, because I don't think it's as good as the 4-star one, the 4 stars one. But man, is this good, though. It's really good. Like, any support would love this, basically. You could even use this on DPS, though, like this one. The heal doesn't... I mean, sure, you could use it on DPS as well, but I feel like mostly this is going to be used on supports. But it's very versatile, and it's really good. Top 10 CCs in the game, I would say. You have it on your bar, I guess? Yeah, that's fine. Completely fine. Alright, then we got the Europa bull thingy. 5% crit damage and healing. So where was the 10% one? We were debating if something was as good or bad. I think we were agreed to... was it this one that was worse? I think this is kind of the same then. Let me check. Was it the Nobu one? Yeah, 5% and 1 star. So instead of that, this is 5% and... okay, you know what? This is actually worse. I would rather have 1 star I would rather have 1 star than 100 healing. Yeah, it's definitely worse. I feel like this is fair. Actually, wait, it was only 5%, right? You know what? It's D+. Yeah, 5% is not even that much for crit damage. Ah, the D+. This might be one of the weakest of the 1-star CCs. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Not a whole lot to go. Mini Ushi, we get 1 star and remove 1 attack debuff from self. So again, I guess this one would be more for your DPS than support. But then again, you probably want, you know, more impactful CCs on your DPS. But even then, it's not bad at all. It's not bad. So of the ones, which one was it again? So this one was the 1 star and 5% crit damage. I think this is equal, honestly. Wait, what is it? Crit damage? I keep forgetting. Yeah, crit damage in 1 star versus 1 star and remove 1 something that limits your own DPS. I feel like they're the same. I just feel like they're the same. Maybe this is slightly better because 5% crit damage might not do that much, but if you have like a big attack down on yourself, you know, that's gonna be way more impactful on your performance. So maybe it's like a low B, a very low B, like one of the lowest Bs, but I want to place it above these two. I think of the 1 star ones, this might be one of the best ones in that sense. The 1 stars game, not 1 star CCs. I hope you know what I mean. Alright, the Tengu thingy. Remove 1 damage up buff from enemy and crit damage for the card. Damage up, kind of a rare effect to be honest. It's usually like just bonus modifiers and, or attack ups or crits both, so this is kind of rare. But it's still like 10% crit damage, which is nice. So again, so what other crit damage ones did we have for 10%? It's definitely above this one, the base 10%. But maybe just a plus, because again, I don't think the effect is good enough to warrant a full tier. So I feel like this just makes sense. There's not going to be a whole lot of damage ups to remove. And in case you're wondering what damage ups are, they're basically those that just increase the damage by a flat amount, which is actually way worse against us because our health is so small. For us, a damage up buff kind of sucks, but for bosses, it can actually do something against us, so it's alright. Just, you're not going to see that buff too often, and usually when you do see it, chances are you can't even remove it. Wow, crit damage, 20%, any card. Simple, very effective. Yeah. So what else did we have for this stuff? I feel like it's at least an A+, but maybe not an EX. Yeah, it's not an EX, but it's just great. Just really good. I prefer the 25% buster one over it, to be honest. But it's very flexible. That's cool. Still top CC, I would say. Absolutely. Oh, Ushi got timed out. Rip. The funny timing with that. Alright, very good. Blue Witch. On an arts card, remove 1 attack up from enemy and 1 defense up. So that's an interesting one. Has a lot. And both of those are not super rare, to be honest. I feel like this is pretty good. Yeah. I feel like this is good. Maybe at least a B+. Decent, like niche one support for support that's not even super niche, I would say. I would say B+, honestly. This is kind of somewhat unique. And I think it's going to work pretty well as well. Yeah. I think B+ is pretty fair. IP, yeah. The bane of all IP users. You would remove that nice attack and defense up. They're actually very considerable as well. Luckily, enemies can have this. Remove 1 defense debuff from self when attacking and heal 200. Let's see, what was the other one we had before? Defense debuff? It was this one. Oh, that was the 2-star one. So these are the only ones. It's not as good. 2 stars is way better than 200 healing for self. So where did I place that one? Nautilus was here. It's at least a full tier down in my opinion. But honestly, B I think is fair then. I think B is fair. But man, 2 stars is way better than like 200 healing. Way better. That would be really tilting Jordanian, to say the least. Orion, 5 stars. Increased damage against male by 20%. very good, I would say, actually. At least an A+. Definitely at least an A+. Like, of all the niches, this one might be like one of the most common ones, because, you know, most enemies in the game have a gender, and, you know, much like real life, half of them tend to be male or something like that, if I had to guess. So, yeah, I feel like this is an A+. Really, really good. And obviously, you're probably going to mostly use it on... You can use this on anyone, any DPS for that matter. But most of the time, you might use it on like Orion or Uriel or any other male bonuses, I forget. Yeah. Very good. Alright, this hat from Amakusa, the Chaldea Boys event. Remove 1 MP buff from enemy, and again, this is, you have to remove it, and then, so this is the exact same as the arts res down, but instead of that, it's buster resistance down. All that voice crack was massive. It's really hard to get it. So what was the one that, well, which one was the arts one? Let's see, I forgot. Do you guys remember which one was the arts one? It wasn't this, was it? No, fuck, I forgot. Oh, it's this one, the Hokusai one. Okay, you know what? It's the same. It's the same then. It's the same. I would say it's the same. I don't really see a big enough difference between Arts Res Down and Buster Res Down to differentiate them that much. No, it's not Pigeon Will. Pigeon is remove crit damage up, and if successful, place a crit chance down. I remember that. That was a really cool one. It's this Hokusai Daddy one, I'm pretty sure. I hope I'm correct here, actually. I think I am. Alright, remove 1 crit chance up and 1 star. Beautiful. That's really nice. Really, really nice. So, again, what were the other crit chance ups removals? This one. And this was one. Dude, okay, it has to be at least an A then. Maybe even an A+, because this was remove 1 crit chance up and heal 100. And this, I prefer 1 star. It has to be somewhere up here then. Like, it's really nice. Maybe we can do a compromise. I'm gonna place this in A and this in B+. I feel like that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I don't feel like this is quite A+ level. I think that's really fair. So both are still really good for supports, but I feel like the hat one is gonna be better because of the 1 star over 100 healing. Boom, good CCs. Alright, is this the final burn one? I wonder. And crit absorb. Yeah. Is this the best burn one? So the last one I placed was this one. So this is a B+ then, at least. Yeah, I think it's B+ because this is 100% absorb. This is half of it, but burn can be good with like Young Guifei and the CE. So I feel like this is really fair. I feel like this is really fair. Again, some people might place burns. Again, in case people jump around the video and you want to see what plays burns, I have to mention it every time. Yes, with the existence of Honey Lake, I understand if someone wants to lump every burn CC to EX tier, that's fine. I'm not gonna do that though, okay? I do give them higher ratings than Curse and Poison, but I'm not gonna go that crazy on a limited C. And a lot of the events have damage Cs anyway, so it's mostly for like story bosses. Right, another 5-star, an MHX one. 20% damage against Sabres. So, let's see, what were the other Sabre ones against Sabre? Crit damage, that was, where did I place this? That's 25, which is there. This is an A+, at least. Maybe, honestly, EX, I don't know, what do you guys think? Because it's against one whole class, which is not even a rare class. I think because this is a 5-star one, this has to be the highest number you can get for all damage. It's not even crit damage, is it? Yeah, it's all damage. Wait, not this one. Oh, fuck. This one. Yeah, it's all damage against it. I think it kind of has to be an EX. Because it's like the best CC you could have against Sabres. Yeah, not archers. Sabres, yes. Sabres are honestly even more common than archers, I feel like, as enemies. You don't think this is EX worthy? All damage against a major class? Really? I think it's EX. And it's the highest tier ever. It's the max damage you can have on an effect like this. I think it's definitely worth EX. Like, Sabre enemies are so common. It doesn't even have to be servants, right? Yeah, it's like every Sabre enemy in the entire game. I mean, I might make like a god tier thing at the end, but I feel like, yeah, it's EX. Yeah. I'm gonna keep it in EX. Anyway, 1 star and reduce crit chance. Again, this is just a flat out reduce crit chance. This doesn't even need to do something. Dude, this is really good. Like, this is really good. And the other effect, this star is also nice. This is at least an... Dude, this might be like an A+. Or do we even have any other one that just puts a crit chance down? We don't. The only other one requires you to remove a crit damage up. Dude, this is at least an A+. This is maybe the best 3-star CC in the game. I completely forgot about this. That's insane. Hey, Dabble, thanks for the follow, man. Or the sub, rather. Thank you. Welcome to the cow game. Yeah, this is really good. It's a... Like, you don't need to do anything. You just hit the card, you get 1 star, and a really good debuff. Crit chance down 10%. Sadly, only 1 turn, but yeah, it's really good. Yeah. This is really good. Alright. Then the Dolman one. The curse, another curse one. So this is probably the best of the curse ones. 1 star with a curse. So where was the highest ones? Was it this one maybe? Or this one? Was this even a curse? Maybe this one was the highest curse. Was it? God damn it. I have to check. I have to check. To be consistent. It's this one. This one. Oh, it's just these 2? Really? I thought there were 3 curses. Really now? I guess there's only 2. Oh. So if this is in D, it's a D+. Although, you know what? I like the star. I'm gonna place it a tier above, so it's a C. It's a C. Okay. Cool. Mini border. 2 stars and remove 1 defense up when attacking. I mostly like it for the 2 stars. This one, again, I prefer remove a defense debuff from self over a remove a defense up from an enemy, because it's more niche like this, but... So Nautilus was what? That was 2 stars and... Fuck, what was the other effect? I feel like it's maybe... It's like a B+ or a B. Maybe a B+. I still like it quite a bit, for sure. Even outside the niche, you're at least still gonna get 2 stars when you use it, which is nice. So, debuff cleanse for Nautilus. Okay. Yeah, I like that more. But I'm not gonna... It's not a full tier above this, so I'm just gonna place it like a minus down, aka a B+ from A. So, yeah, it's good. Really nice. Okay, 5-star CC. Party crit damage. Okay, so this is the 5-star version of this, 15%. But again, it's... like, it's the best of the bunch of this effect, but... Yeah, it's just... It's so awkward to use, because... Hardly ever you would even put this on, like, your DPS, and then you would have to open with a support card, and it has to be the same turn, so one of them is gonna get wasted anyway, because this is applied after that card hits, so at most you're gonna help 2 command cards, because obviously extra can't even crit. So, yeah, it's a 1 turn. It should be 1 turn, or 2 turn, or, like, 1 turn, instead of the 1 turn 1 time, or 2 turns, or... 2 turn 1 time. It's just, where did I place the other one? Fuck, I keep forgetting which one it was. Was it... Does anyone remember? Okay, let's see. Parties critical... I can totally spell. It was this one. Yeah, the 3-star one. So I placed that on like E+, right? Yeah. This is triple the effect. Maybe it's a D, maybe a C, but maybe a D+. Definitely one of the weaker 5-star ones in the game. Just because how awkward it is to use it. Pretty much. Alright, what? 6 to go? The latest 6 that were actually missing from this list as far as I know. But it was now updated. Beautiful. So, remove 1 defense debuff from self and heal 100. Not bad. Mostly for the remove 1 defense debuff. Not so much for the heal, but it's a nice effect to have. You can... So what were the other ones I had? Again, just to make sure, let's see. Remove 1D... Is it spelled differently? God damn it. Here we go. Okay, this Nanola's one was the other one. Then this one, which is 200 healing. So it's just No, this is remove. Wait, no, it is. Yeah. So this is just a better version for healing. So it should be under that. But to be honest, is the only difference 100 healing? Was that what it was? If the difference between the 3 and the 4 star is 100 healing, I might place them in the same tier anyway, because that's not a whole lot of difference, to be honest. Right? I don't think that's even worth a plus, to be honest. 100 healing. Where am I? Oh, here. Yeah, it's the same thing. So where is that 4-star CC? It's it's like fuck, I forgot. Fuck, I just saw it. I already forgot what it was. Damn it. Does anyone remember? I'm not gonna search that again. Fuck, what was it? Which one was it? Oh, is it B? Which one in B? Oh yeah, here it is. It's actually next to it. I even placed it there as a placeholder. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna keep them the same. Again, I don't... This one is arguably... I mean, not arguably. It is better because it's... Both remove 1 defense debuff from the user, but this one heals 200 instead of 100. But I still don't think it's enough for me to, like, make a plus between them. 100 healing is not... It's not really a big of a deal. Phantom Maiden. 15% damage against females. So where was the male 20%? I have to emphasize that female is more common, but I'm still going to place this a plus down, like just a plus under it, because of the 20% versus 15. So even though females are a bit more common, I feel like, than males. So yeah. Obvious use cases are like, you know, Carmilla Jack. Yeah, probably the best cases for this, but you know, it's still a very easy to fill niche, so a lot of DPS would still be okay with this for sure. You think it should be the opposite? Really? I'm definitely not going to put the male one below this one, at least. And the only argument I could make is maybe put them on the same one. I know females are rare, but someone said 40% of servants are males. So that difference is not that massive, to be honest. But maybe because of that 10% difference, I'm going to put it on the same tier. Just barely. Just because the niche is very easy to fill, right? But I'm not going to put... There's no way I'm going to put the 20% male one below the 15% female one. Nuh-uh. But same, I can... I'm okay with that. Whoa, 3 stars and remove 1 attack up from target. Is that a really good CC? I see. I think it is. That is a really nice CC. Oh boy. Oh boy. 20% male is not EX2 or... EX like 20% sabers? I don't think so, no. I do prefer the class one over the male one, even though, you know, it might seem a bit counterintuitive, right? Because of the, you know, there's more males than sabers, but it's just... I still prefer the class one. I don't even know how to explain it, though. Yeah, and the class one also works with normal mobs. A lot of normal mobs don't even have a gender. Many of them do, but not everyone. So this is, honestly, at least an A+. What do you guys think? So the Arjuna one was the other 3-star one. What was the effect on that? It was heal 200. Ooh. So it's 2... Honestly, they might be the same. Heal 200 or remove 1 attack up. Yeah. I think it's the same one. The difference is not that massive. Mostly you're going to pick both of them for the 3 stars anyway. So yeah. Yeah, still very good, obviously. You love those 3 stars. Alright, 3 to go. The last these are from Guda 6 actually, the latest event, huh? Like, what's up, Jax? What are you talking about? So went on a quick card, increase crit damage by 15. We had the 20% earlier, right? Which was it this one, I think? I think it was. So this is just an A one then. Yeah. Wait, is it a 3-star one? Oh, wow. It is. Was this where I put the other ones as well? Let's see. Wait, no, it has... Is this 20% arts crits? It has to be a B+ then. I think. Right? I think this... Was this 20% arts crit? It cannot be in the same tier then. I put the 3-star Buster one in B+. Okay. I'm gonna put them in the same. If I assume one of these is the Buster one. I keep forgetting which one it is. Oh, it's this one. It's this one. You know what? I kind of prefer Buster, but not enough to even put a plus between them. They're both on B plus with the 15% Buster and quick crit damage respectively. So I think they're both going to be here. And then this one, on an arts card, Absorb. Okay, so this is the highest Absorb, right? 150% on an arts card. Ooh. At least an A+. At least. Has to be. That is really solid. Probably A+ though. But man, that is... that's gonna help quite a bit, especially depending on your class. That is gonna help considerably. Very nice. Very, very nice. Is this the best 4-star CC in the game? It could be, honestly. Because I think we have one 3-star here. And then these. I'm gonna bump this down here, even though it is so flexible. It just, I don't... And now I feel wrong having it in EX. But man, this is still easily, like... This and the Mozart one are the best 3-star CCs. And then one that I really like a lot. So this increases your crit damage at least 10%, but up to 30%, depending on how much HP you've lost. So obviously for someone like Hijikata, who's in the picture as well, is gonna be nutty as hell. But even on the worst case scenario, it's still 10% crit damage on any card, which is not bad. So I think this is just very good. So again, here's the 10%. It might be A. I think it's better than B plus compared to the B. Like, it's better than just over a plus than that. I think it's at least a full tier above it. So, yeah. Yeah, many servants could use this, definitely. Hot Wheels, Hijikata. Jalter has an HP demerit as well, and she's a crit servant. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. HP demerits becoming maybe merits a little. Yeah, Arash with guts. Yeah. Yeah, that's a cool meme. Any, there you go. Honestly, do we want to mix something around before we call it? Dude, I'm pretty happy with the list overall, to be honest. I hope I didn't really mess up, like, there's gonna be, like, identical effects and then some are better. I mean, some of them are, but some of them are not big enough for me to put them on, even a difference of a plus. But I hope there's not anything blatant that's really just fucked up or messed up or anything, so there you go. Oh yeah, do we want to make a god tier one? I'm tempted to make a god tier one with this and this. These two. Or do we just call it here? Not really. Yeah, we could just leave it here, to be honest. But yeah, if I had to pick like two that go above the rest, it would be the Merlin one and the Santa Altar one. Maybe as third, it would be the Gilgamesh one. I think like they're all just amazing. So there you go. All right, I think that's good. This actually was longer than I thought it was gonna be, but you know, I tend up rambling. But hey, there you go. If anyone watches the full thing on YouTube, you're a madman, but I do really appreciate you, of course. I'm not sure if this one is going to have timestamps on it, because most people don't even know the names of the CCs. I might add them anyway, but are they really going to help? Not really. We'll see. But yeah, this is definitely going to go up on YouTube maybe 2 days after this, because today I'm going to upload the Okita rolls, which I will do now after this on stream. So yeah. Let's get a good look at the final list here if we can get it in one picture. There you go. Kind of hard to see, but there it is. So, if you enjoyed this, please do me a solid. Press the like button. Really helps out. Link it to your friends, your family, your mom, whatever. Everything helps. And definitely subscribe for more videos every week. More tier lists as well in the future. Can't say when the next one is, to be honest, but yes, there will be new gameplay ones as well. Don't worry, some people have been asking me, and yeah. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.